It was an ordinary morning at Tesla's headquarters in Palo Alto, California, bustling with engineers, executives, and dreamers chasing innovation. Amid the sleek halls and futuristic architecture, a young woman stood out. A black girl in her early 20s clutching a simple folder. Her name was Maya, and she had no appointment, no degree, and no connections. But she had something even more powerful: determination. Maya walked up to the front desk, her hands slightly trembling but her head held high. "I need to speak with Mr. Musk," she said confidently, though her voice betrayed a hint of nervousness. The receptionist glanced up, taken aback by the directness. "Do you have an appointment?" "No," Maya admitted, "but I have an idea that could revolutionize Tesla's solar technology. I just need 10 minutes of his time." The receptionist sighed. "Mr. Musk's schedule is booked for months. I'm afraid that's not possible." But Maya didn't budge. "I didn't come all this way to be turned away at the door. Please, at least give him this." She held up a folder filled with handwritten notes, diagrams, and equations she had spent months perfecting. The receptionist hesitated, sensing something genuine in Maya's eyes. "Wait here," she said, taking the folder and disappearing into the labyrinth of offices. Maya waited, her heart racing. The minutes felt like hours. She replayed all the late nights she spent working on her idea, the sacrifices she made to get here, and the voices of those who doubted her. After what felt like an eternity, a tall man in a black turtleneck appeared. It wasn't Elon Musk, but his chief technical officer, Dr. Lewis Harper. His expression was skeptical as he approached her. "You're Maya?" he asked, flipping through the folder. "Yes," she said, standing up. Dr. Harper studied her for a moment. "Elon's busy, but I'll give you 5 minutes. Impress me." Maya nodded, her mind racing. This was her chance, and she wasn't going to let it slip away. As they walked toward a small conference room, Maya felt a mix of fear and excitement. She didn't know it yet, but what she was about to say would not only catch the attention of Tesla's leadership, but also lead to a moment she could never have imagined. The small conference room felt intimidating, with its glass walls and high-tech equipment surrounding Maya. Dr. Harper sat across from her, his sharp eyes fixed on her as he set the folder aside. "You've got 5 minutes. Let's hear it." Maya took a deep breath, steadying her nerves. She opened her own copy of the folder, flipping to a hand-drawn diagram. "Tesla's solar panels are among the most advanced in the industry," she began, her voice firm despite the flutter in her chest. "But their efficiency in urban settings drops because of partial shading and uneven sunlight distribution." Dr. Harper raised an eyebrow, intrigued, but not convinced. "Go on." "I've designed a new type of microinverter that could be embedded directly into each panel," Maya explained, pointing to her diagram. "It uses a dynamic feedback loop to reroute energy flow around shaded areas, maximizing output without the need for additional hardware. It's cost-effective, scalable, and could increase efficiency by up to 22%. Dr. Harper leaned forward, studying the diagram more closely. His skepticism was slowly giving way to interest. "This is ambitious. But these equations? Did you calculate all of this yourself?" Maya nodded. "Yes. I don't have a formal engineering degree, but I've been studying renewable energy systems on my own for years. I ran simulations using open-source software to validate my model." Dr. Harper tilted his head, clearly impressed, despite himself. "No degree, no team, and you came up with this on your own? Why Tesla?" Maya's eyes burned with passion. "Because Tesla isn't just a company, it's a movement. You're not afraid to challenge the status quo, and neither am I. I believe in what Tesla stands for, and I know this can make a difference." Dr. Harper stared at her for a moment, then stood up abruptly. "Wait here." He walked out, taking the folder with him. Maya sat back, her heart pounding in her chest. She had no idea what Dr. Harper was going to do. Had she said enough? Had she blown her only chance? 15 agonizing minutes passed before the door opened again. This time it wasn't Dr. Harper. It was Elon Musk himself. Clad in his usual black t-shirt and jeans, Elon stepped into the room, holding her folder. His expression was unreadable, but his eyes were sharp, scanning her intently. "You're Maya?" he asked, his voice calm but commanding. "Yes," she replied, standing up nervously. Elon gestured for her to sit back down and took the seat across from her. "Doctor, Harper says you have something worth my time. I hope he's right. Let's see what you've got." Maya's pulse raced as she realized this was the moment she had been waiting for. Elon Musk, one of the most brilliant minds in the world, was about to hear her idea. She swallowed her fear, opened her folder, and began her pitch again, this time to the man who could change everything. As Maya finished her explanation, Elon leaned back in his chair, his fingers pressed together thoughtfully. His silence stretched for what felt like an eternity, and Maya couldn't tell if he was impressed or unimpressed. Finally, he spoke, his voice measured. "Your idea is interesting, but there's a big difference between a concept on paper and something that works in the real world. What you're proposing would require a significant overhaul in our production process, and that's not a small ask." Maya didn't flinch. She nodded, her voice steady. "I understand, Mr. Musk, but innovation isn't supposed to be easy. If we settle for what's convenient, we'll never reach the future Tesla envisions." Elon smirked slightly at her response, but didn't let his expression linger. "Fair point. But tell me this. How do I know you're the right person to bring this to life? You don't have a degree, no formal training. Why should I take this risk on you?" Maya hesitated for only a moment before answering. "Because I've already taken that risk on myself. I've spent every spare moment teaching myself the science behind renewable energy. I've poured everything into this project, my time, my savings, my future. I don't just believe in this idea, I live it. And if given the resources, I'll prove it's not just a concept, but a revolution waiting to happen." Elon leaned forward, his expression softening but remaining serious. "Passion is great, but this industry is ruthless. You'll face setbacks, criticism, and failure. Are you prepared for that?" Maya didn't blink. "I've been doubted my entire life, Mr. Musk. People told me I'd never amount to anything without a degree, that I couldn't make a difference. I'm still here. Setbacks don't scare me. Giving up does." For the first time, Elon's lips curled into a small, genuine smile. He tapped his fingers on the table before speaking. "All right, here's what we'll do. I'll have our engineering team review your designs. If they see potential, I'll personally fund a pilot project to test your concept. But there's one condition." Maya leaned forward, her heart racing. "What is it?" "You're going to be part of the team. No sitting on the sidelines. You'll work with us to prove this idea works or doesn't. Are you ready for that level of commitment?" Without hesitation, Maya replied, "Absolutely. I'll do whatever it takes." Elon stood, extending his hand. "Then let's see if you've got what it takes to change the game." As Maya shook his hand, a wave of emotion surged through her. She had done it. She had broken through the barriers that had held her back her entire life. But this was just the beginning, and she knew the road ahead would be even tougher. As Elon left the room, Maya sat back in her chair, taking a deep breath. She had no idea what challenges lay ahead, but for the first time she felt like she truly belonged in a place where dreams became reality. Maya reported to Tesla's engineering headquarters the very next week. Walking into the sprawling facility, she felt a mix of exhilaration and intimidation. The sheer scale of innovation happening around her was overwhelming. Rows of prototype vehicles, cutting-edge machinery, and engineers engaged in animated discussions. She was introduced to a small team tasked with evaluating her project. Among them was Dr. Alan Graves, Tesla's senior engineer, whose skeptical expression was impossible to miss. "So you're the self-taught genius we've been hearing about?" he remarked, his tone dripping with doubt. Maya didn't rise to the bait. Instead, she extended her hand. "I'm here to learn and contribute, Dr. Graves. I hope we can make this work together." Alan shook her hand reluctantly. "We'll see, but don't expect us to go easy just because Musk is backing you." Over the next few days, Maya faced relentless scrutiny. Her designs were picked apart in meetings, her calculations questioned at every turn. At one point, Alan called her out in front of the team. "This thermal regulation model is flawed. Did you even consider the real-world constraints of manufacturing?" Maya clenched her fists, but forced herself to stay calm. "I did, but I see now there's room for improvement. I'll rework it tonight and present a revised version tomorrow." Her willingness to adapt surprised Alan, though he didn't show it. Late into the night, Maya stayed at the lab, poring over equations and redrawing schematics. She watched the cleaning crew come and go as the facility emptied out, but she refused to leave until she was satisfied with her revisions. The next morning, she presented her updated design to the team. Alan scrutinized it for what felt like an eternity before nodding. This could work, but it's still unproven." Elon dropped by unexpectedly during the review. He listened as Maya explained the updates, asking pointed questions that tested her understanding. By the end of the session, he smiled. "Good progress. Keep pushing." Maya's confidence grew, but so did the challenges. When a critical component for the prototype failed during testing, some team members suggested abandoning the project, but Maya refused to give up. She spent hours brainstorming alternative solutions, often with Alan, who begrudgingly began to respect her tenacity and problem-solving skills. One evening, Alan approached her while she was troubleshooting a software issue. "You're relentless. I'll give you that," he said, almost admiringly. Maya smiled. "I have to be. This isn't just about proving myself. It's about creating something that can make a difference." Alan nodded, and for the first time, Maya felt she had an ally within the team. The prototype slowly began to take shape, and with each step forward, Maya grew more confident in her abilities. But she knew the real test was still ahead, the moment they'd unveil the project to Elon and Tesla's board of directors. Would her gamble pay off? Or was she setting herself up for failure? The day of the presentation arrived. Maya stood outside the Tesla boardroom, her palms damp with sweat. Through the glass doors, she could see the top executives, including Elon Musk, seated at the long table. Her prototype was displayed at the front, sleek and impressive, but untested under real-world scrutiny. Alan approached her with a clipboard. "Nervous?" he asked, though his tone was softer than usual. "A little," she admitted, trying to steady her breathing. He handed her the clipboard. "You've earned this moment. Just remember, you know this project better than anyone in that room. Own it." Maya nodded, feeling a surge of determination. As she stepped into the boardroom, all eyes turned to her. Elon gestured for her to begin. "Let's see what you've got, Maya." She took a deep breath and launched into her presentation. Using diagrams, simulations, and data, she explained the innovative cooling system her design offered, which could significantly enhance the efficiency of Tesla's batteries. Her voice was steady, but her heart raced as she awaited their reactions. When she finished, the room fell silent. One executive leaned back in his chair. Impressive, but theoretical. "What about practical application? Can this work on a large scale?" Maya anticipated the question. "That's why I've also prepared a live demonstration." She pressed a button, and a screen lit up with real-time data from her prototype. As the numbers stabilized, showing optimal performance under stress conditions, murmurs of approval rippled through the room. Elon leaned forward, his eyes fixed on the display. "Interesting," he said. "What about cost efficiency? Can this be scaled affordably?" Maya nodded. I've factored in the manufacturing costs, and the materials used are not only sustainable but also cost-effective. With some refinements, I believe we can scale this within Tesla's existing infrastructure. Another executive, who had been skeptical throughout, spoke up. Even if this works, you're a newcomer. Why should we trust you to lead this? Before Maya could respond, Elon interjected. Because she's shown more determination and ingenuity in 3 months than most people do in years. Trust is earned, and I believe she's earned it. The room went quiet again. Maya's chest swelled with pride, but she kept her composure. The executives exchanged glances before the lead engineer finally spoke. Let's move forward with a pilot project. If the data supports her claims, we'll integrate this into production. Maya felt a wave of relief and excitement. Alan gave her a discreet thumbs up from the back of the room. As the meeting adjourned, Elon approached her. You did well, Maya. Keep surprising us. She smiled. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Musk. I won't let you down. But as she walked out of the boardroom, she knew the real challenge was only beginning. Proving herself in the presentation was one thing. Proving herself in the field would be another. Little did she know, the next phase of her journey would test her in ways she could never have imagined. Months passed, and Maya's project progressed beyond expectations. The pilot program not only proved her design's efficiency, but also highlighted potential for significant cost savings. Elon personally monitored the developments, often stopping by the lab unannounced to observe the progress. His presence, though intimidating at first, became a source of motivation for Maya. One evening, as Maya reviewed the final test results in her now cluttered office, there was a knock at the door. She looked up to see Elon standing there, holding a folder. "Got a minute?" he asked. "Of course," she replied, quickly clearing a chair for him. He sat down and handed her the folder. Inside this is a letter from the board. They've approved the full-scale implementation of your system. Production starts next quarter. Maya's eyes widened as she flipped through the documents. This is incredible. That's not all, Elon said, leaning back with a faint smile. Your name will be on the patents. You've earned it. Her breath caught. She had never imagined her work would reach this level of recognition so quickly. And, he continued, I want you to lead the team overseeing this transition. It's a big responsibility, but I believe you're ready. Maya was stunned. I don't know what to say. Thank you for trusting me. Don't thank me, he said, standing up. Thank yourself. You took a risk when you walked through those doors, and you proved you belong here. Just remember, this is only the beginning. As Elon left the room, Maya sat in silence, overwhelmed with emotion. She thought back to the moment she first shared her Tesla sketch online, not knowing it would lead to this. The following week, Tesla held a press conference to announce the revolutionary technology. Maya stood alongside Elon, fielding questions from reporters and showcasing the system she had designed. Her story quickly became a global inspiration, highlighting how determination and a single chance could change everything. Maya's success didn't just transform her life, it sparked a movement. Tesla received countless applications from young innovators around the world, inspired by her journey. And as Maya stepped into her new role, she vowed to mentor others, just as Elon had mentored her in his own way. Her story became a testament to the power of persistence, creativity, and taking bold steps into the unknown, a legacy that would continue to inspire generations.